Yo, how y'all doing this morning? I had a good week. Whooped up on State Farm. Wound up getting 26. Turned out I got 26, not 25. She gave me $1,000 on the medical side, Yolanda did, because she's actually the medical person. And the fact that they kept sending me to her was that they weren't supposed to be sending me to her, and she was irritated. And so I commiserated with her on her irritation to get her to listen to me spiel my claim. And she was like, yeah, okay, sure. Shoot your shot. So I did. And sounded reasonable to her. And so she wrote me a $1,000 check on the medical side so that she could assume control of it, which apparently is something that will not draw attention to it. You know, if I give you any less than that, she says, it'll look weird. Well, I mean, feel free to give me $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 if you feel like it'll keep the heat off of you, sweetie. But I didn't. I should have said that. Right, give me as much as you feel comfortable giving. She gives me $1,000. She tells me we'll go with the 16.5 on the total loss side, and she'll fill in the gaps with something else. Okay. She says, you want a check or you want it electronically filed? Electronically's fine. And I mean, before the punctuation was on the sentence, I was getting notification noises in my ear that the emails were coming in. As soon as I got off the phone, I had $1,000 in my bank within a half an hour. So, big win for the kid. So that was a win. There's a lot of other things going on that's got me in my irritations right now. There's a lot of grown folks acting like high schoolers right now that need to knock the fuck off. You know, people are not baubles in your chaotic, manipulative life. And so I don't care that you're having a divorce, with your wife. You need to leave me and my puppy out of it. Especially when I know that somebody's full of shit. So figure out which one of you is full of shit, and we all know who that one is. And that person needs to shut the fuck up. Don't set your life on fire, son. You see what I'm saying? Because when you force people into your paradigm of bullshit just for the sake of your own momentary attempts to put something flashy in your soon-to-be ex-wife's face, what you're saying to me and my puppy is you don't give a fuck about either one of us, and that you would literally shit on both our heads and are, just to get her to glance at you, and then y'all gotta knock that shit off. Like, some of you motherfuckers don't see yourselves. I had it come up in another one with a friend. Started jumping on another friend who was talking about, I forget, something to do with the elitist cult of pedophilia that exists. To what degree, we can talk about. But the fact that it exists, there is no doubt that it exists. And so he sees some tattoos on, I think it was Justin Bieber, and he says, that's some pretty sketchy tattoos. All that shit is pretty symbolic and known. And then liberal friend who does not try, who does not get into it, or if he does at all, only enough to skim the surface, declare it bullshit without really giving it a good, thorough adjudication, and then basically dismiss it with the phrase conspiracy theory, which is meaningless and more presages something that's true. Anytime a liberal calls something a conspiracy theory, you can almost put 6 months on it that we'll be walking back the liberal defense of it incrementally until it's gone one day. Because apparently you're so soft-headed and so lazy and so busy fucking playing video games or dressing up like fucking Batman that you can't be bothered to look into this shit because your phone told you otherwise. You've basically been shamed into having a no further point on anything. It's imposed on people, this no further point. And the no further point is, well, I'll listen to something, but I have a point at which I will go no further. And that keeps, what conspiracy theorists do is we keep fucking knocking that back until it's gone. And I can give you a long list. A fresh long list, right? You want to talk about conspiracy theories? How about Russia Gate with Trump, or the Mueller thing? Turns out those were conspiracy theories. Not only were they conspiracy theories, they were intentionally concocted conspiracy theories that you pimped, motherfucker. You want to throw Occam's razor at me? Guy that thinks trans athletes should be allowed to compete with girls? Right? I mean, like, you motherfuckers don't see yourselves, and then you come in and you swoop in with this smug, condescending bullshit that attempts to run cover for pedophiles and animals and communists and people that are destroying the goddamn country objectively in your face, but you can't use your own senses anymore because your phone has told you that none of that is real. So you're mind fucked. You're mind fucked. Your reality is what your phone tells you now. But I'm the conspiracy theorist, which is also something that has been imposed into your head. A phrase literally invented in the halls of the CIA to forgive laziness, guilt-ridden, feckless. Are we not seeing yet that that's why much of the entertainment industry exists? Was as a deflection, as a distraction, as something that keeps your mind from the flagrant human atrocities that are being imposed upon us, and just forgiven because our attention span is so flippity flappity short, right? And there have been studies done on that, and there's been documentation that has come out that it gets used and manipulated into being shorter the attention span. A lot of what we get in the media and whatnot these days intentionally shortens our attention span. We now have 15-minute TV shows on Cartoon Network because 30 minutes is too much plot to keep up with, right? So until you start seeing the mosaic, or at least having some ability to talk about it, don't use throwaway terms like Occam's razor, which basically tells you don't think about it. Don't think about it. That's selectively used, right? Which I just showed you how, and just showed you how it also can be selectively used against you, but you don't want to hear that, right? Well, that's much more complicated. Gender, really? Fucker. Gender's more complicated. Boy and girl.